Some of the tallest players to grace the world of athletics have become icons of the sport and are often absolutely beloved by fans of the sport. In this video, we'll talk about the 10 tallest athletes, who are definitely quite interesting for sports addicts and lovers. Make sure you stick with me to the end so that you don't miss any part of the gist. Without any further delay, let's get into it. Making number 1 in our list is Edouard Beaupré, the Canadian tallest strongman. Willow Bunch Giant is a Canadian professional tallest pro wrestler, the tallest strongman, as well as the world's tallest wrestler in history. Then Edouard's growth rate increased dramatically, so much so that by age 9 he was 6 feet tall, and by the age of 17 his height was recorded at 7 feet 1 inch, which is about 2.16 meters. In 1902, Edouard's height was measured at 8 feet 2.5 inches, which is equivalent to 2.50 meters, and he weighed over 400 pounds. His death certificate described him as being 8 foot 3 inches tall and still growing. He is indeed the tallest man in the history of wrestling, no doubts. The second top 10 tallest athlete in history is Sun Mingming. Sun might not have made the NBA, but he accomplished something far more impressive. In Rush Hour 3, he became the first person ever to win a movie fight against Jackie Chan. You really should see that movie. It's quite therapeutic. Sun Mingming is a Chinese basketball player. It has been argued that he is the tallest player to ever play professional basketball, although Guinness World Records indicates that Libyan Suleiman Ali Nashnush was taller. Mingming stands 7 foot 9 inches and weighs 370 pounds. Sun Ming's shoe size is 20. He played for the Maryland Nighthawks of the American Basketball Association and the Premier Basketball League, which made him part of the tallest basketball lineup in history, as a gimmick for ticket sales that were reportedly used to pay for his medical bills when he had to undergo an expensive brain surgery. He also played for the Grand Rapids Flight of the International Basketball League and the Dodge City Legend of the United States Basketball League, where he scored just 28 points in 23 games. Sun later played in Mexico and Japan, and eventually returned to his homeland for a stint with the Beijing Ducks of the Chinese Basketball Association in 2009. The next guy on our list is John Roush. Height is might in basketball. There's no question about that. But what if I tell you that the tallest players in the history of Major League Baseball are tall enough to play in the NBA? Really, baseball isn't a sport dominated by height. It's one dominated by powerful hitters and crafty pitchers. It's more of a skill game rather than size, although yes, size does help in the majors. This is evident in the case of the relief pitcher John Roush, who owns the distinction of being the tallest player in the history of Major League Baseball. Roush stood at 6 foot 11 inches and towered over everybody in the bullpen. He ended up pitching for 6 different teams during an 11-year career that lasted until 2013. Roush pitched in over 500 games and had a record of 43-40. He was a member of the U.S. men's baseball team that won the gold medal at the Sydney Olympics. He earned notoriety in 2012 when he and then New York Mets rookie Matt Harvey almost came to blows after Roush poured water on a napping Harvey. The Mets released Roush at the end of that season. Next up, Christophe Van Hout. The 35-year-old goalkeeper is officially the tallest goalkeeper and tallest soccer player in the world, measuring up to a monstrous 6'10". He began his career in the Netherlands at Willem II, the former club of Jaap Stam, before he moved to the PSV squad. Later, he also played for the Belgian side KV Kortrijk. He then moved to Standard Liège on a 3-year contract on the 6th of August 2009. He also played as a goalie for the Indian Super League club Delhi Dynamos FC in season 2014-15. Christophe has been a squad member of the Belgian Pro League club Westerlo since 2015. This lanky goalkeeper doesn't even have to jump to catch the incoming corners because of his 6'10" height. Now, our next guy is Paul Millar. Millar is a British striker who last played for the Scottish side Devon Vale. He is mostly acknowledged for his performance for Elgin City FC between 2010 and 2014. Elgin City FC staff had to heighten the entrance because of his 6'10" height. He then played for Formartine United during the season 2014-15. Besides being a footballer, he is also a full-time fireman who works at the RAF Kinloss base at Moray in the Highland areas of Scotland. Kirkcaldy YM recently inducted him into their Hall of Fame at the annual awards ceremony. He is in the second position among the tallest soccer players of all time and one of the tallest soccer players in Europe. The next athlete making the top 10 tallest athletes is Randy Johnson. No questions, Randy Johnson is the best among the tallest players in Major League Baseball history. Randy was dubbed as the Big Unit, and rightfully so. The Big Unit played primarily for the Seattle Mariners and Arizona Diamondbacks in a career that lasted 22 seasons and 6 teams. His 303 career victories rank 5th all-time among left-handed pitchers, while his 4,875 strikeouts rank 2nd to Nolan Ryan among lefties. Johnson won the Cy Young Award 5 times, and only Roger Clemens has more with 7. He is one of 7 pitchers in the history of the MLB to throw both a no-hitter and a perfect game. Johnson is also the oldest pitcher to ever pitch a perfect game. He topped his Hall of Fame career with the World Series title and MVP in 2001 before retiring in 2009. Next is the wide receiver Harold Carmichael. If anyone wonders if basketball players like Kobe Bryant and LeBron James could ever make it in the NFL, Harold Carmichael provides the best example for them. At 6'8" and 225 pounds, he is the tallest wide receiver in NFL history, and he had a good career. Throughout his career, he was viewed as a fan favorite, which included being selected as the Philadelphia Eagles Man of the Year in 1980. In fact, on the field, he produced 3 1,000 receiving yard seasons and was selected to 4 Pro Bowls. In his lone Super Bowl appearance in 1980, he led the Eagles with 6 receptions and 91 yards in a loss to the Oakland Raiders. Next up, the linebacker Ted Hendricks. The 6'7" linebacker was drafted by the Baltimore Colts in the 2nd round of the 1969 NFL Draft. However, size was not a detriment to him, as he was an 8-time Pro Bowler and a 4-time All-Pro. Moreover, he holds the NFL record for 4 safeties and obtained 26 interceptions in his career. However, he is more known as being the leader of the Raiders defense of the late 70s, leading the Raiders defense to the Super Bowl 3 times during his career. His most remarkable season was his only season with Green Bay, where he logged 5 interceptions, 7 blocked kicks, and 1 safety. Finally, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1990. Another athlete worth making the list is Juan Martín del Potro. The immensely talented but injury-prone Juan Martín del Potro rose to prominence in his late teens. Standing at 6'6", del Potro has always had a solid serve and a potent forehand. The Argentine's forehand is actually considered one of the best in the business, if not the best. Wrist injuries may have taken some bite out of his equally reliable two-handed backhand, but del Potro has always been a fighter and has come back strongly from several injury setbacks. Del Potro was ranked as high as world number 3 at one point. His best Grand Slam result came at the 2009 US Open, where he famously took out Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer in successive matches to lift the title. That made him the tallest Grand Slam champion in tennis history. Nicknamed the Tower of Tandil, del Potro is also referred to as a gentle giant for his sportsmanship and respect for other players. Wrapping it up, we have Usain St. Leo Bolt. Usain Bolt is the Jamaican sprinter who won gold medals in the 100-meter and 200-meter races in an unprecedented 3 straight Olympic Games, and is widely considered the greatest sprinter of all time. At 6'5", Bolt defied the conventional wisdom that very tall sprinters are disadvantaged as fast starters. In 2007, he appeared newly dedicated to his training and earned a silver medal in the 200-meter at the World Championships. He also persuaded his coach to let him try the 100 meters, and he ran 10.03 seconds in his first professional race at the distance. On May 3, 2008, he lowered his best time to 9.76 seconds, then the world's second fastest mark. 4 weeks later, in New York City, Bolt broke the world record, running 9.72 seconds to defeat world champion Tyson Gay. That concludes today's video. If you found the video helpful, please consider giving us a thumbs up, and don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. See you next time.